Welcome back to After the Bell. We are your host.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Flipsyde. And we appreciate you guys coming back and checking us out. You know, like we touched on earlier, we definitely appreciate you guys already checking us out before we even had our pictures up, before we had anything up, before we talked about anything, just giving you guys a rundown. We really appreciate that, and we hope that we do get to entertain you on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and I hope that our fan base continues to grow.
Exactly.
You know, we're also on Facebook. We have a Ustream account. If we have over 1,000 friends by the end of May, we both agreed to go live on Ustream right after Raw. And then we'll still have our show on Wednesdays.
Right. So with that being said, you know, tell all your friends to check us out and join us and
subscribe
to us, and you know, we're gonna continue to entertain you and give you our point of views on it. Okay. Now before the break, we said we're gonna get right to Monday Night Raw. So we kick off Monday Night Raw, of course, you know, with who else? Triple H.
Of course. We gotta have that great 25-minute intro.
20 minutes. 25 minutes.
Wow,
intro,
dude, I mean,
Triple H, and do his usual. I thought it was the usual 10-minute intro, but I mean, I guess since they only had 4 matches too, he go ahead and double that up to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So he comes out and talks about, you know, like he said, of how he's the only guy that's there, you know, and stuff like that, and
talks about Sheamus and how, you know, this pay-per-view coming up is.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's really hyping this guy up.
He is really hyping up a real good friend of his named Sheamus, and I mean, I don't think if they was good friends, WWE would have ever pushed him as much.
Oh yeah.
He does not have the on-air quality.
He doesn't have that it. He doesn't have that.
He doesn't have the it factor at all.
He doesn't have that. I mean, and that's obvious because the fans don't hate him or love him. They just don't care.
They have no crowd reaction to Sheamus. And when you go to a live show, and you know that's what we're talking about is the crowd reaction. It's just not the ratings. It's the actual crowd reaction. When you're in the show, you can hear the fans going crazy when somebody like John Cena comes out.
Right.
Or you can hear the fans going, you know, but wow, when somebody like, you know, Triple H comes out, or Randy Orton as a, you know, as a face or a heel.
Or Ray.
But when you hear nothing.
When you just hear like, oh, it's him.
Sheamus.
That's pretty much the reaction that oh, it's him. Again.
So that's not good or bad because one, it would be great if there was a big heel presence, you know, boo, Sheamus, but it's nothing.
Right.
So this is not really.
And he's already proven that he can't carry anything because he's pretty much was a paper champion. No pins on anybody with the belt. No pins. I guess you can't unless you count Evan Bourne.
Yeah,
he pinned him numerous times.
Everybody's pinned Evan Bourne.
And that goes back to like what we were talking about earlier with them having the same guys fight each other every week. And how many times are you going to fall for the same move when you know it's coming?
Well, that's kind of like if we get into our very first match. Drew McIntyre versus Matt Hardy.
Wow.
SmackDown fans, you watched it last Friday and you watched it again last Monday.
Right.
Or this past
Monday, yesterday. And we're not saying wow because it was a wow match. We're saying wow again. You know, and
out of 4 matches, y'all gonna make them 1 match?
Right.
I mean, I could have thought of many other SmackDown superstars to take that spot. Maybe you could have had you could have had a 4-on-4 match with a bunch of SmackDown superstars. If you're only gonna have 4 matches, let's fill them in with superstars.
Right. I mean, but I mean, you know, to give WWE some credit, it had to draw up something really quick, like we touched on earlier because of the volcano. But to give us the exact same match that we had we're close to the exact same ending. You know, I mean, he wins. I don't even know why they're pushing this guy. Besides the fact that Vince likes him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only reason they're pushing Drew McIntyre. Because honestly, I don't really care for him. I don't like his style. I don't like his character. He's really, I mean, it just throws me off a little bit.
He actually can wrestle. If you go back to when he was on ECW, he was fighting totally different than he is now. Right now they have him as this because Vince likes him. They have him fighting a certain way.
Yeah, and if you look back, I think Matt Hardy is a very, very underused wrestler. I think he has great potential. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the fact that, you know, a lot of people say Jeff Hardy, you know, carried Matt Hardy all these years. And,
even though he did.
In the Hardys, he did. But as soon as they broke up, they was pushing him for a little while, and he was
doing the Virgin 2.
Yeah,
that's when he was a beast right there. When he did the Virgin 2.
Exactly.
And he referred to himself like in the third person in his interviews because they were giving him a lot of interview time. And I guess he was in the gym working out because now he like put on the goods and stuff
Dude,
like that.
He's like, I was gonna bring that up. He does look kind of heavier.
Yeah.
You know, Matt Hardy, go back work out, man. Get you that great attitude that you had at one time, and keep working.
He might be ready to leave, so you never know.
I honestly hope they would send him away, say sorry, we're done with you, and he'll go to TNA just to show people, hey, Matt Hardy does have a chance to be a good wrestler.
But that might be why they don't let him go. They might just keep him in there. We'll just use you to get whooped every week.
Yeah, use you as a jobber. Like eventually we do Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
Evan Bourne's great talent, but if you keep getting squashed, I mean, what's the purpose of even wrestling?
To get squashed.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, man, dude, I'm doing this because I like losing.
They might do. I mean, it's hope for Evan Bourne because they might do a Mikey Whipwreck like what they did at ECW, where they have him lose so much so eventually he somehow wins
like
a world title. So we go to the like we said, the first match. Drew McIntyre won. He retained the belt. Second match,
Swagger versus Undertaker.
Now this had really, really big potential.
It did.
It really did have big potential.
Honestly, second match of the night out of 4. We got to reiterate that because we want more than 4 matches. Come on, guys.
And if it was an hour show, that's totally different.
Yeah, I mean that's
they were giving 4 matches on ECW.
Yeah, 4 matches. But all right, check this out. When you have Swagger, he's the champ, and then you have the Undertaker. I would not think
when the streak is not on the line.
Yeah,
it's just a regular match.
I would not think you would let Undertaker win that way. I mean, I would honestly think Swagger would have somehow won. You're trying to, okay.
Well, got disqualified or something.
If you're trying to draw a champion and make him look good, you can't have him losing a match all the time. Right. I mean, make him cheat, make him do something. But you can't have your champion always losing. Yeah,
that right there was a bad look, especially to lose and to a tombstone. Like you actually, you ate the finisher. You ate the finisher big time and stayed down. So that's I can only imagine how Randy Orton's gonna do him.
Wow.
So I mean, either they don't like Swagger, or they don't value the championship.
Next week is the big shakeup of WWE, the draft. Right. Now, in a little bit, I want to kind of get a couple of ideas of what we think is going to happen. So I kind of want to talk about the Randy Orton versus the Swagger match coming up at the pay-per-view next week, is how it's going to play out. Right. But our third match of the night was the McGruber versus Kozlov. Again,
that was a fiasco. First, we have Kozlov going all through the building all day, saying how he's going to destroy McGruber and all that stuff. And I mean, he's not entertaining.
Kozlov, no.
Yeah, he's not entertaining. I mean, he's not entertaining. I mean, and they've tried him on every single show. They've tried him on ECW, SmackDown, and Raw.
He's been on every single show.
Featured on every show. Not even like Evan Bourne.
Yeah,
he's been a part of every show, like getting a big part, like words and scripts and everything. And I mean, no reaction all the way around the board.
Well, for one, I think the best reaction last night was when he did come out earlier in the show and he had the King come out and read his, I think that's what helped him. Maybe they could do that every week now. Have him come out to the ring and have the King to talk for him, because the King is way more entertaining than Kozlov.
Exactly. Way more.
I remember, when they used to have King come out and to help push people, and I think they're gonna do that.
I hope so, because they went away from that. They went away from that big time. But part of the reason of that, why they went away from that, is because of Michael Cole. So it's like like you were saying, the King can carry a guy and help push the guy, and I hope they do get back to that. The way he pushed him, he got the biggest reaction that Kozlov probably ever got in his life.
Yeah.
But when you see when he came out there at the end. Well, for the match, the reaction was out of there.
Yeah, and the whole segment with Triple H and McGruber in the back, him peeing his pants.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
I thought it kind of went on a little bit long. It kind of did go on a little bit long.
Way long. I mean, who's entertained by that?
I wasn't.
Maybe Triple H.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
because he's entertained by stuff like that for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, he thinks that's funny. He thinks that's what the people want to see. But that was totally not funny at all. Another thing that wasn't funny is R-Truth getting blown out of his boots.